felt the need unprompted to tell the media yesterday that Shedeur Sanders was not his pick. Let's take a listen to what the owner had to say about selecting Shedeur.
Good process, okay? And if you just told me, see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all were going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening.
Fans are ready for a change under center after a dreadful start. They want Shedeur Sanders traded to the Dolphins. Should Miami make a new move, Ocho?
It's only week one, huh? It's no time to hit the panic button.
Man, the fans don't care about no week 1, week 2, week 10.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now
Dolphins fans aren't just whispering Shedeur Sanders' name. They're chanting it like it's gospel. Like he's the only lifeboat left on a billion-dollar yacht that's going under fast. The sound is wild, echoing through stadiums, beaches, and nightclubs like a siren that won't stop ringing. To them, Shedeur isn't just a quarterback, he's the miracle, the headline, the obsession that Miami refuses to let go of. The chants are deafening, so chaotic, they make a seagull feeding frenzy at a fish market sound peaceful. The panic level, off the charts. But here's the kicker, why are Miami fans so quick to throw their very own quarterback overboard just to crown Shedeur as king of the city? The drama runs deep, and the answer is simple. Patience has never existed in Miami's DNA. This is the same city where iguanas literally fall from the sky when it gets too cold. Chaos is built into the culture. Miami doesn't do subtle. Miami does scandal, lights, and noise. And right now, this quarterback frenzy doesn't feel like a debate. It feels like a straight-up mutiny against their own guy. Tua Tagovailoa, fans are acting like he's yesterday's leftovers. Cold, forgotten, unappetizing, tossed aside like sushi that sat too long in the fridge. In their eyes, Tua might as well be standing at baggage claim with a cardboard sign that reads, "We'll play for snacks." That's how harsh this fan base is moving right now. The message blasting out of Miami is crystal clear. One name matters, and they're screaming it from South Beach to Little Havana, from the stadium to every packed nightclub, Shedeur, and the wildest part, this obsession isn't even about building a dynasty, securing the future, or winning smart. Two things are colliding in Miami right now: pure, raw desperation and unshakable obsession. Fans are moving like Shedeur Sanders is the lone superhero who crash-landed in South Florida just in time to save them from decades of heartbreak under the tropical sun. They're treating him like he's got powers no one else in the league has, like he's the one man who can erase years of letdowns with a single snap of the ball. Forget the lightning-fast receivers' running routes. Forget the so-called offensive genius waving his play sheet on the sidelines. Forget that explosive playbook that Miami parades around every preseason. None of it matters anymore. Not one bit. To this city, Sanders is the only cure for the ache that's been eating at them season after season. Stats don't matter, excuses don't matter. Highlight reels mean absolutely nothing. In Miami's eyes, Shedeur isn't just the missing piece, he's the golden idol, the crown jewel, the sacred answer they've been starving for. And when I say golden idol, I mean the kind they're ready to carry onto the field, lift above their heads, and worship under the stadium lights, while tossing every memory of Tua into the
Sanders actually now be traded by the Browns.
Like, my job here isn't to prove people wrong. Like, I prove myself right.
With the sudden retirement of Derek Carr, it certainly looks that way. The Browns have too many quarterbacks on their roster. The Saints, not enough. And the Saints quarterback room looks like a boy band. Plenty of experts during the draft said the Saints should have taken Shedeur.
The Saints would be insane not to draft him. I'm serious.
And while some Saints fans are mad that they didn't, they may just get through
the flames like old junk mail. The chants for Shedeur aren't just rumbling inside Hard Rock Stadium. They've spread like wildfire across the entire city. This isn't just hype anymore. It's hysteria on a historic level. Bars all the way down Ocean Drive are swapping margaritas for Shedeur shots. Bartenders serving drinks like they're part of a pre-game ritual. Radio hosts are on air talking as if Sanders already walked into the locker room, got fitted for his Dolphins uniform, and took the starting spot without even playing a down. And the fan clubs, they're not simply supporting, they've transformed into a full-time workforce. These die-hard fans are pumping out digital edits, graphics, and posters of Sanders in teal and orange like it's their actual 9-to-5 paycheck job. It's endless. Instagram flooded, TikTok booming, group chats exploding. Miami isn't waiting for Sanders. They're already living in a fantasy world where he's the savior, the face of the franchise. At this point, Shedeur Sanders might actually have more digital jerseys floating around online than real ones hanging in stores. And the craziest part, it's how fast the loyalty flipped in Miami. Faster than a DJ switching tracks at a South Beach club. Just last season, Dolphins fans were treating Tua like blood, like that long-lost cousin who suddenly shows up at the family reunion and everyone swears they'd go to court for him if it came down to it. Every time somebody threw a negative stat in Tua's direction, Miami fans clapped back with completion percentages, deep ball accuracy, and his unmatched chemistry with Tyreek Hill. They defended him like their reputation depended on it. They went all in, shields up, voices loud, but now that same crowd has flipped the script. Those same fans are ready to toss Tua into Biscayne Bay without so much as a pool noodle to keep him afloat if it means Shedeur shows up tomorrow. Dolphins Nation is done with the Tua project, and they're not even hiding it anymore. To them, he's no longer the future. He's yesterday's news with an expiration date stamped across his helmet. Tua Tagovailoa has become the busted phone charger everyone knows too well. You know the one. It only works if you bend it at the perfect 90-degree angle while whispering a prayer that the screen lights up. Technically, it still does the job, but the frustration builds and builds until you're ready to snap it in half and order a fresh one off Amazon. And in Miami's mind, that fresh new charger comes in one model only, and it's spelled loud and clear. Shadur. He's that shiny, flawless charger. Still sealed in the box, never tested, never plugged in, but hyped up like it's going to fix every single problem in your life. Dolphins fans are so locked in on Shedeur Sanders that it's almost laughable. Almost. And let's be real, this isn't some polite wish list like kids writing letters to Santa. Nope, Miami fans are demanding him like spoiled kids throwing a tantrum after being told Christmas got canceled. This isn't maybe in a few years he could develop. No way, it's bring him here now, put him in uniform, and fix our misery today. They don't care about logistics, draft rights, boring. College contracts, irrelevant. NFL rules, just paperwork to ignore. If Miami fans had their way, they'd sneak Shedeur through security tonight, throw him into the lineup tomorrow, and erase decades of heartbreak in one weekend. That's how wild this hysteria has gotten. 1 week of shaky quarterback play, and suddenly Dolphins Nation has elevated Sanders into some kind of mythical blend of Dan Marino, Tom Brady, and Aquaman, all rolled into one superhero package that can throw lasers and walk on water. In their fantasy, he's not just the quarterback they want, he's the quarterback they believe they deserve. Forget patience, forget rookie struggles. In Miami's dream world, Shedeur shows up on Sunday, casually tosses for 400 yards, saves the franchise, launches the Dolphins straight into Super Bowl contention, and still has time to autograph beach towels and take selfies with fans on his way out of the stadium. And here's the kicker, it's not even about football anymore. Shadomania has gone way beyond touchdowns and wins. It's a full-blown lifestyle choice. To Miami, Shedeur is the shiny new obsession, the glittering fix to decades of pain, the fresh face that can scrub away the soul-crushing identity of being a Dolphins fan. Deep down, they know what their history looks like. Hope dangled in front of their eyes, only to watch it burn to ashes in spectacular fashion. And now Miami is absolutely convinced Shedeur Sanders is the only antidote to decades of tropical heartbreak. Dolphins fans have lived through it all. The endless quarterback carousel spinning out of control, the annual promises of this time it's different, the false starts that crash before they even take off, and heartbreaks so uniquely, Miami they sting like salt water in an open cut. So here we are. They've crowned Shedeur as the miracle cure, the magic potion, the one-shot fix that can wipe out years of therapy sessions with a single gulp. Forget patience, forget perspective. This fan base has turned to Sanders like he's the answer to every problem under the Florida sun. Meanwhile, Tua could throw 5 touchdowns tomorrow and fans would still squint at him with side eye, treating him like that partner they've already ghosted in their heads. It's not that Tua is awful, it's that he's not Shedeur. And that's the entire argument in Miami right now. This city has locked onto Sanders with tunnel vision so intense you'd swear he was out here handing lifetime VIP wristbands to every South Beach nightclub. Even whispers inside the locker room have started shifting. You can practically picture Dolphins players scrolling through their phones, watching endless edits and memes of Shedeur in teal and orange and thinking to themselves, seriously? We're still in the middle of the season. It's like your job announcing your replacement while you're still at your desk, sipping coffee, pretending the Wi-Fi is working while your chair is already being measured for someone else. And the comedy of it all, Miami fans don't do balanced. They don't even know the meaning of the word. The next week, it's the total opposite. Dump Tua, get Shedeur here yesterday. There's no middle ground in Miami. It's either confetti parades down Biscayne Boulevard or dumpster fires blazing in the parking lot. Nothing in between. The city doesn't know patience, it only knows extremes, and right now the scale has tipped into full-blown madness, and the media, oh, they're devouring this circus like free Costco samples on a Saturday afternoon. Every tiny whisper about Shedeur's potential gets blown up like breaking news, treated like gospel prophecy. Every college highlight is dissected frame by frame like it's the Zapruder film, used as undeniable evidence that he's already better than half the quarterbacks in the NFL. the hype train isn't just rolling, it's gone nuclear. At this point, it honestly feels like Dolphins fans might be secretly running the entire internet, working overtime to keep the Sanders obsession burning non-stop. And here's the wildest part. Shedeur hasn't even stepped foot on an NFL field yet. He's still in the promise phase. The shiny, unopened gift box everyone swears is hiding a miracle inside. But does Miami care? Not at all. In their minds, the parade routes are already mapped out, the headlines already drafted, the confetti ordered in bulk, and the championship ring sized and polished before Shedeur's even taken a professional snap. This isn't about reality anymore. It's about fantasy, hype, and the fever dream of a city so desperate for a savior that they've already written the script for a future that hasn't even started yet.
I think it's unfair for me to comment in I guess maybe on behalf of the industry. All I can say is this, the time that we spent with Shedeur, and what he's done throughout his college career is impressive. He's an impressive young man. He's a really good quarterback. Sometimes, fit comes into play. And I'd also say this, there are 4 more rounds of the draft. And then maybe lastly, it's less about where you get picked and what you do after you get picked. That's really the most important thing. Getting to know him over the course of the spring,
Yet, Miami isn't waiting for proof. It's not even about football anymore. It's about hope, pure, raw hope that Dolphins fans are clinging to like it's the last tank of oxygen underwater. For them, the dream always shines brighter than the reality sitting right in front of them. If Miami football were a reality show, this is that cliffhanger moment where the current star has lost the crowd and the producers are teasing the grand entrance of the new heartthrob. Fans are basically lined up outside the stadium like it's a concert, chanting Shedeur's name like he's a pop star about to drop a surprise album. While Tua is still on stage, fumbling his lines to an audience already reaching for the remote. And honestly, you almost have to pity the Dolphins front office. Imagine running a billion-dollar franchise only to realize your very own fan base is secretly plotting a quarterback coup behind your back, and you weren't even invited to the meeting. It's like throwing the biggest wedding of your life, only to watch the guests openly cheer for the bride to run off with someone else. That's the level of disrespect and chaos floating through Miami right now. No matter what moves the front office makes, trades, contracts, statements, nothing will ever satisfy this crowd unless Shedeur magically teleports into Hard Rock Stadium already dressed in teal and orange, ready to lead them to salvation. The desperation has become almost poetic. This is a franchise haunted by the ghost of Dan Marino, still starving for a taste of relevance, still begging for the next big savior to finally rewrite their story. Shedeur has turned into the living projection of everything Miami has been missing for decades. The cannon arm, the flashy swagger, the big name energy, and that endless promise that makes fans believe again. But here's the problem. None of those things guarantee success in the NFL. Not one. Still, when has logic ever stopped Dolphins fans from diving headfirst into the shallow end of wild optimism? It never has, and it's sure not stopping them now. Because here we are, Shedeur Sanders mania has gone from whispers in the background to full-blown Miami madness, plastered across every headline, every barstool conversation, and every scroll on social media. The hype isn't just alive, it's multiplying by the day. And make no mistake, these fans don't just want him, they're demanding him, like the city won't survive another week without him. As far as Dolphins Nation is concerned, the Tua era is already dead and buried, whether the franchise dares to admit it or not. And that's the kicker. This obsession isn't just about football anymore. This is about identity, about rewriting a legacy fans are ashamed of, about finally finding a hero to call their own. Miami's so starved for a savior that they've already carved Shedeur's name into the sand, praying the tide doesn't wash it away before reality comes storming in. And let's be honest, when reality finally does show up, it's going to be a lot messier than the fantasy world they've built in their heads. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback to Miami anymore. He's a legend, a myth, a full-on South Beach revolution. Fans talk about him like he's some kind of comic book superhero rising straight out of Biscayne Bay, dripping in teal and orange armor, ready to save the city from decades of playoff collapses and endless concussion debates that have haunted the franchise. In the fan version of reality, Shedeur is not just throwing touchdowns, no, he's parting the Atlantic Ocean itself, leading the Dolphins across dry land into the Super Bowl promised land like a football Moses. And here's where it gets insane. Tua could walk into Hard Rock Stadium tomorrow, torch the scoreboard with 6 touchdown passes, and the crowd would still be glancing at their watch.
Browns is the Browns. This is the most hype they've ever had. Like, it's the Browns.
Exactly.
So, he got drafted to the wrong team. That Sanders name, I'm telling you right now, there's only one person that understands business, and he will trade his quarterback.
Just like, cool. But when's Shedeur showing up? That's how cold this obsession has turned. It doesn't matter what Tua does. He's already been cast as the extra in a movie where Shedeur is the star. Tua has become the forgotten side dish at Thanksgiving dinner. The one nobody reaches for. The one nobody even acknowledges exists. Because all anyone cares about is the main course they believe is on the way. That main course is Sanders, and fans aren't even being subtle about it. Forget quiet whispers in back rooms or cryptic message board posts. This thing is loud, messy, and everywhere. From chants in the stands to debates on sports radio, from memes plastered on social media to random bar conversations on Ocean Drive, the Shadowmania takeover has become unavoidable. Miami isn't dreaming anymore. They're demanding, and the franchise is stuck trying to manage a fan base that already crowned its next king before the throne was even empty. Fans aren't just hyping Shedeur Sanders anymore. They're declaring him the one, the fairy tale ending to decades of heartbreak. But here's the twist. That's the exact same story they've told before. Last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. At this point, Miami's quarterback expectations have turned into a full-blown soap opera, complete with fiery romances, dramatic love confessions, messy breakups, and rebound after rebound with the next perfect fit they swear will last forever. Tua Tagovailoa, he's just the latest ex-boyfriend being written out of the script, ghosted without warning, while fans swoon over their new crush like teenagers in the throes of infatuation. And the way Dolphins Nation talks, you'd think the front office could swap quarterbacks as easily as ordering an Uber. Tap a button, boom, a new QB pulls up to the curb in teal and orange, ready to save the day. Draft rules, salary cap, multi-million-dollar NFL contracts, please, none of that exists in the Miami imagination. In their fantasy world, Shedeur could be suiting up next week if the team just cared enough to make the call. Reality is messy, complicated, and bound by rules, but for Dolphins fans, dreams are eternal, and nothing is stronger than the high of believing their savior is already on the way. And honestly, there's something almost poetic in how unhinged it's gotten. Dolphins fans have stopped watching football like a sport. They're writing fan fiction now. And in every chapter, Shedeur Sanders is cast as the golden savior, the chosen one who finally breaks the curse, rescues Miami from decades of heartbreak, and delivers them into the happily ever after they've been chasing since Marino walked away. Shedeur Sanders hasn't even declared for the NFL draft, hasn't stepped foot on a pro field, hasn't taken a single snap against NFL defenders, and yet Miami has already crowned him as something bigger than football. He's not just a quarterback in their eyes, he's a savior, a myth, a miracle they've been waiting decades for. And that's the comedy in all of this. Tragic comedy, really. Fans have convinced themselves that one rookie quarterback, one untested player, can erase decades of heartbreak, failed drafts, bad coaching hires, and postseason collapses so ancient they feel like they belong in a history book. Tua could walk into Hard Rock Stadium tomorrow and deliver a masterpiece. 6 touchdowns, flawless passing, maybe even clinch a playoff berth. And you know what the crowd would say? Cool, but when's Shedeur getting here? That's how deep this obsession runs. This city isn't begging for steady improvement or patience. Miami is demanding a messiah in cleats, a chosen one who can carry the full weight of disappointment, heartbreak, and generational frustration, then turn it into confetti parades down Biscayne Boulevard overnight. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Maybe Shedeur really is that guy. Maybe he's got the arm, the swagger, the leadership, the spark to change everything and drag the Dolphins into a new era. Maybe he's the kind of quarterback who shifts the entire league, the kind of rare talent you build dynasties around. Or maybe, and this is the piece Dolphins fans never want to hear, maybe he's just the latest crush in Miami's endless quarterback soap opera. Another name added to the list of "this time it's different" that always ends the same way, with heartbreak, regret, and fans already fantasizing about the next guy before the last one even finishes his contract. But one thing's undeniable. The hype train has already left the station, and it's not slowing down for anyone. This story doesn't pause, doesn't wait, doesn't stop until Shedeur Sanders either hoists the Lombardi Trophy high above his head or proves once again that even Miami's wildest dream can still crash headfirst into reality. So what about you? Is Shedeur Sanders really the chosen one for Miami? The golden savior destined to rewrite this franchise's painful history? Or is he just the next name in a long, exhausting list of almosts that Dolphins fans will hype up, fall in love with, and eventually toss aside? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this madness with your friends, and I'll see you on the next one.